Somebody spraying. You. As I untether myself. What's up, y'all? Happy Monday. Welcome and welcome back. Welcome and welcome back. I'm going to put some gesso on this real quick. This is not what we're going to be working on, but this is something that I'm doing and taking care of for the future. Oh, it's hot. So, sorry. We're stalling. Anywho, this is my one of the main characters in my story, The Ghost of Arlon. This is my heroine, Ifo. I'm just going to put some gouache on this. This has been drawn, fixed on artboard, and I'm going to put some gesso on it, just so we can get it ready to start painting. The Angel Desu, how are you? It's been quite some time since I've seen you. Welcome back. Ow. Uh-oh. Let me take my Wheaties. I'm having a hard time. Hang on 1 second. I have been good, except for unable to open this. Holy smokes. That's not embarrassing. What have I done? All right, one more time. Here we go. Holy mackerel. But I have been well. Thank you for asking. I hope you have been well. All right. So while I schmutz this thing, today what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be drawing her brother. I'm doing these hero pieces as I finished my story maybe like a week or so ago. So I'm just doing these hero pieces to keep me motivated, keep me in this world, which I'm having such a fantastic time. I really am. It's kind of nuts. And, but I'm also kind of like, I'm not stressing. That's not what I'm thinking about. But I realized there's been a couple of things that I have, I need to practice on. Backgrounds. I was looking through a bunch of my most recent drawings, paintings, and just my pieces. A lot of hero pieces like this, not a lot of backgrounds. And I got to change that. So what I ended up doing for the weekend is just kind of like prepping a work study for me. Work study, isn't that funny? A study schedule. And that I'm going to start in August. All right. This doesn't need to be overly done. One coat is fine. It's already been fixed. And this is just for when I add the gouache, it'll hold. And even before I add gouache, I'm going to add an acrylic underpainting anyway. So here we go. I think that's it for me. Clean my brush. You've been good by the grace of God? Yes. Yes. Amen to that, my friend. Amen to that. All right. I'm going to let this dry out on the side here. Hopefully it doesn't fall. I made such a mess in my area here. New board, here we go. So yeah, so what I've been thinking about is I need to learn. I've been studying and watching and reading and just admiring the work from these old Conan. Sorry, guys. These old Conan books and magazines that I've been buying. Just admiring the work and also just really kind of like lamenting at my own shortcomings. Lamenting at my own limitations as an artist and as a creator and a teller of stories, I should say. And I say that, I don't say that disappointingly. You know what I'm saying? Hey, JOM, how you doing, buddy? I say that because I acknowledge what the things that I need to work on. Because I know those things are going to make me better, and I can't wait to study them and work on them, because it's all going to depend on how successful I'm able to tell my story. So, starting next month, I'm going to be doing my own little studying of the savage world of Ireland, of what I'm doing here. Drawing and inking exciting stuff like boulders and rocks and gravel and stones and trees and all that stuff. The stuff that really, I mean, we read these, I read this, and I'm amazed at the figures. But what really makes the figures sit and appear solid, honestly, guys, is the world that is created, the backgrounds. Because I want to show you guys something. I drew this thing on, let me see, I drew it on Sunday. And it's just a piece of, it's a drawing of Conan hunting. Move my water out the way. And as much as I enjoy doing it and completing it, there was something missing about it. Hold on, it just got warm in here. Hold on, bud. What'd you say? The angel disc is relatable. I am currently unable to draw stuff right now, but reading manga and realizing that I haven't even scratched the surface. Yeah. So we're on the same boat in a sense. As much as I enjoyed doing this, I kept looking at it like it's so empty. He's supposed to be hunting. He's supposed to be in a canopy of trees and the jungle fauna and all this stuff, and flora, not fauna. And I'm like, bang, that's what I'm missing. I can't build a world. You just can't. Not like this. This is blank space. Now, some of this stuff might be cool, maybe great, and I can work with it. I love doing this stuff. I can maybe hide those things by painting and creating atmosphere with the paints, but that's not really what I'm aiming for. So I was just going through this particular issue. I'm sorry if you guys hear the landscapers in the background. They're not my landscapers, but these shots here really did call to me, and I'm like, I need to learn how to do that. This dude coming out of the jungle canopy there, the way the trees are set up, silhouette trees or open lined silhouettes to show the foreground, midground. So I'm like, man, as I looked at my Conan, I'm like, he's missing some trees or some leaves here or something dark, and that's what I was trying to do. Watercolor by McCraw. How are you, my art sis? How you doing? Says hello, mellow painting and watching you. Loving seeing you go hard after your goals and dreams. It's so inspiring. Well, thank you, man. I think that I think it's important to share these type of struggles and these journeys with people, more for not so much for relatability, but more of a hey man, we all go through some of this stuff. I don't think I've hit a plateau or the peak of my skills, and I think I embrace that because I keep taking a couple of steps down that mountain to find something new to build on. You can only get so far up until you realize, man, I need some more carabiners. I need more rope. I need a hook or a pitchfork. I need something to grip this mountain that I'm climbing up on. And I've gotten to that point, I think, where I got to a certain point of that artistic, creative mountain, and I'm like, I need to go get some more rope. And now I have to climb back down and go through another study process or another thing. You know what I'm saying? Another thing, and it's okay. I'm not frustrated, which is really cool. I'm not frustrated. I don't see like the goalpost moving. I just see the opportunity of what is possible. And that's really all that's driving me right now. And I'm like, I want to be able to, and I want to encourage you guys to do the same thing if you're an artist or a creator. Go for the vision you have in your mind, right? There's certain things that I know I want to put on this page, but I can't. I'm not going to say I can't. I currently can't. I currently am unable to fulfill that idea. Doesn't mean I can't do it. I'm just unable to do it right now. I currently can't do it right now. What are they cutting right by my window? Yo, back up. Back up, landscapers. Shoot. So, that's what I'm going to be doing. All in the while, learning, building, and getting better. I'm not going to abandon my superhero stuff. I'm not going to abandon my portraitures and all that stuff. I'm actually going to do a portrait today, a hero portrait of one of my main characters called Enix. So, and if I want to continue to tell my stories the way I want to portray them, then there's certain things that I need to go back to and learn. And that's cool with me. So, but I'll share as much as humanly possible with you guys. And I wanted to show you guys something that I wanted to plan. So, I'm going to scan these. These are perspective grids. In case you guys are having the same type of struggle with me learning how to do more varied and realistic backgrounds, I'm going to be focusing on kind of like I'm not going to say medieval, but in that era, back in the day type of era, more desert and jungle and ruins, and think of like Conan's Iberian Age or the Middle Ages, or even, Old Testament age. So, but yeah, anyway, as I jump around, I'm going to scan in these perspective grids so I can share with you guys, and I'll put out I'll share them under, so I'll figure out a way to share them, maybe a Google Doc or something, because I want to scan these, and then I can go ahead and superimpose these on my pages, my Strathmore art pages, and start building from there. Sometimes we need a little crutch, but the crutch is only there so that we can get back to walking on our own feet, right? Like this is a 1-point perspective grid. One thing I did earlier today that I thought was cool, I superimposed it. So it already, you guys can already see the possibilities of just what I can put around them just from this grid. So I need to train my eyes to do this a bit more on a more frequent scale, because if I'm going to be doing a graphic story, this grids are going to be in smaller sections, story beats, that stuff. But anyway, in the larger scale, when I start doing hold on one second, please. He really is right by my window. Lasers, hell yeah, bro, shoot. I started to see my stuff. I started looking at my more recent stuff. And everything, I guess I'm an intimate artist. Everything is single figure, up close, gritty face, or an emotional look, or story beat, which I'm going to be doing today. I'm not downing it. But I started to look through my stuff, and I'm like, you don't really do backgrounds, Mel. I talk to myself in the third person. You're not doing a lot of backgrounds, man. And I know you want to, because you're drawing stuff in perspective. I drew Iron Man in the sky, and it just looks like he's pirouetting. And I'm like, well, it wouldn't look that way if you knew how to really pull the clouds or a mountain or a building. Let me see. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't. Even that changes so much already. Right on cue. You know the cat be on point. So anyway, it's one of those things compositionally. I can sit here and I can go. You know, I know how to move the page in thirds, and Fibonacci spiral, all of those things. But I'm like, can you put them in a room? Can you put them in something? What's this one? 3-point. I still can't figure out what 3-point perspective is, but anyway, you already see the world building around them just from a perceived background. You know what I'm saying? I know you guys know what I'm saying. But anyway. Because my figures and my paintings and my stuff like that has to be a bit more for me. And there's nothing that somebody's ever said to me, or you know, it's me. The critical Mel has been saying, there's something missing. You're good, buddy, but there's something missing. I can make a really good cake, but have you ever tried using ganache, right? So stupid. Yeah. Anyway, so that's really what I'm going to start doing for August. Every day in August, every week in August, every day, I'm going to be spending a bit more time doing studies on textures, stones, boulders, trees, roots, foliage, and all that stuff, so that I can visualize and start putting into reality, bringing into reality some of these settings that I have in my mind. I don't want to keep, I don't want to say cheating, but I don't want to keep what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word, Mel? Be nice to yourself. I don't want to keep hiding some of those limitations by painting over it, putting more shadow, claiming its atmosphere when, bro, you just don't know how to draw the room, you know? So I need to be true and honest to myself, and it doesn't help to keep that wall around. We need to get better, right? That's the whole point. Once you start getting down this road, it's all about, I don't even mean to say getting better, because that's just, it's not really what I'm thinking about. It's not about getting better, and it's not about chasing perfection, because we'll never find it. I just want to be able to put on paper what I see. All right. That's all I'm doing. One line down the center. Thank you, man. You cheat yourself by not doing it. Yeah. So I don't help anybody by doing it, and I can be here and be very specific and go, oh man, he's a great hero portrait artist, but I've never seen him draw any arms. Let me see. I'm sorry. Let me go through this real quick. Visual, I thought doing some construction project back in the day. Okie dokie, that's cool. Cue the cat. Howard Hughes had the same problem with his movies, airplanes, and no clouds. Yeah, because he was a visionary, a big time visionary. He needed the clouds to portray motion, because then it'll just look like we already know. Watercolor by McCroshas. I loved that so much and started learning the same a while back. So it wasn't just my portraits with no added flair. Right? And I've seen some of the stuff you've done with more of a, even just the compositionally adding flowers and leaves around your figures. I see you. I seen you. You want to see yourself, never limit yourself. We call that coloring outside the lines. It's part of the art process. Yep. Alright, so this is still wet. Saying all that, this is my jam. That's why I'm okay taking a step back. Like, I am able to tell and put my figures in a way that I respect. Is that what I'm looking for? Anyway, that's my jam. This is my jam. Like, I could do this type of stuff all day, and that's not ego or anything like that. It's just that I really enjoy doing these type of forms. If you guys have followed my channel, he goes, yeah, that's what he does. One face, one figure, super detailed, colored in or whatever. Black and white, color shaded. This is the last one I did. And again, although this is a still image, very little background, some atmosphere sky. But the old Mel, even if I wasn't following it, I would have just probably put a gradient back there. Right? It's just a figure. That's basically this. One face, one figure. I can tell you the story. But what I would love to have done here is maybe put him in the throne room, put him in a place where the setting really does tell the story, not just me expositioning to you. Right? You guys feel what I'm talking about? I did a little bit of that. What is this? With my Galactus. That one's a bit more. But still, it's so big. And it is kind of cheating. I put him in a vastness of space. Hey, Ike, how you doing, bro? Welcome. I haven't started drawing yet. I'm going to start drawing momentarily. I'm just kind of like sharing my shortcomings. And then this one has a background simply because if you guys watched while I was doing it, it's an homage and it's a direct copy, just reimagined of an existing cover by Ernie Chan. So all I had to do was really copy and put the things in. He did all the the heavy lifting. All right. So that's the idea. That's the goal. That's what I'm trying to do. You know what's funny? JOM, the Jawbreaker. I wanted to draw him as one of the kids from Ed, and Eddie with the Jawbreaker in his mouth. That would have been, but it was in hindsight. It was a day late and a dollar short, as we say. I gotta finish this. I don't like that doom lettering. I need to put some black outline, but that's for another day. So yeah, Ike and I are frequently lamenting on the on perspective. So Ike, I don't know if he was here earlier, and I know I've mentioned this to you before, and I wonder if I've lied and said I was going to scan these before too. I'm going to scan these in and see if I can share them with you guys if you want to use them. You can superimpose them into your Photoshop or Photopea. It's free, guys. Photopea. So, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna blue line these, lower the opacity, and I'm gonna put them on my comic book pages, my 11x17s, and see if I can do some stuff on them, create some scenes. But first I gotta learn how to build the furniture, as they say. All right, let's get to work, y'all. Who am I drawing today? This, unfortunately, is the only other image I have of my main character as I build them up. This is a concept cover for the graphic novel that I finished writing the story. I'm gonna say story. It's nothing other than just a finished story right now. That's my female heroine, Ifo. That's her brother Enix. That's their captain of the guard of their village, Kelbray. That is the Dark King of Arlan. And then there's the titular ghost of Arlan. It's not really a ghost. It's just his presence is haunting. Bum bum bum. What's up, Omar? How you doing, man? Put that up there. This thing is still drying. I just used clear gesso. You can see that shininess. That's one thing that I really do not like. You see that glare? I don't know if you can see it. It affects me so. But it is what it is. I'm going to put some, actually, it's tacky enough. I think maybe by the end of today's video, I should be able to add the underpainting. All right. So, where is my pencil? Sorry, my headphones got caught. I'm having a hard time. Talk about a case of the Mondays. Just kicking it. No, I appreciate that. Hope you're feeling better, bro. One thing I didn't realize that I didn't use my electric eraser with this. No wonder it gave me so much trouble. I only used 2 pencils, really. I did all of my outline with my HB. I think this is HB in here. And then right over it with a 2B pencil. Let me see. Where is it? The 2B was pretty versatile. I was able to get sharp enough lines, and then I used you can see my ring finger smooge. I rubbed and smoothed everything out. All right, so I'll put her here. Move him over. That should be good enough. Yeah, to be or not to be. Excuse me. All right. Shame, I gotta hit record on everything. 1 second, I'm sorry, y'all. I need a team. See if that works. I got an old iPhone that I'm gonna use. Watch it die on me before I'm done. All right, so we're gonna do a little bit of Loomis here. I put a straight line down the center. This is 8x10 artboard, and I put the line down there just so I can stay compositionally in the center here, even though I'm gonna have him more to the right. For her, when I did the line, she is dead center. You can almost still see my line here. That was my guideline, And then I did my little Loomis to keep me in check here. So, let's go. It will give you guys a little bit of what is it? ASMR. So, about my peoples here. These two are siblings. She's older. He's younger. She's the tank, so to speak. He's more of a tactician. He's an archer by trade, dartsman. He prefers being distant, but not because he's afraid, but because he enjoys dictating and reading the battlefield. I'm sorry if it's too light. Probably gonna be like that for a bit. Longish hair. This is that time of that era where they didn't call you a hippie if you had long hair. Like I said, this is just gonna be a hero shot. I enjoy these type of portraits. I do them a lot. I think they're very classic in the sense if a person's face, figure, and you can do the rest of it. It's almost like something you'll see hanging in a museum or something. Maybe one day. Not these, but we'll see. One of the things that I know that I'm going to have to do a lot of practicing and studying is armor and clothing. But that's the least of my troubles, I think. There's so many movies and reference we can use. If you guys notice, I don't traditionally start with a Loomis. I kind of create my overall measurement and silhouette, and then I guess I retrofit or reverse engineer the Loomis method to fit. But I do recommend you guys, young artists, if you're gonna do portraits. Loomis is a really good method. I think Riley is a great method. I can't remember who started that method first. They're basically the same, but one does rhythms while the other one does divisions. We getting dinged? So in the Loomis, after you do your circle and your sphere, and I don't do a perfect circle. This ain't about that. We don't have to do perfect circles. It's a hairline, the brow line, the eye line, the nose, and the bottom of the circle is usually where either the middle of the mouth. Not everything is perfect, but it's just a good way to have those measurements. Not every face is the same. Believe me, my Hulk face, his nose will be up here, his mouth is bigger. So you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta let it make it fit. Shade by Sound says dis. Appreciate that. So what else can I share about my peoples here without giving up too much? Besides being military, too young to be in the military, but they are. Our character here, Enix, is a born leader. Not one that's overbearing. Just falls on him. They have an inherent need to protect people. They suffered a great loss very young. And the whole point of the story, and the gist of it, I'm going to say, is at a very young age, they lost their father. They witnessed their father get yoked up in front of them, protecting them and their mother. And they were extremely young. So that tragedy kind of builds them into who they are. And we get a time jump. We don't really know what happened to their dad. He's presumed dead or missing for 10 years. And because they're young, hold on, here goes the landscapers again. They really couldn't do anything about it. People wouldn't help them the way they thought they would. So now that they're older, stronger, leaders in their own right, they can go and make these decisions and find out the mystery of what may have happened to their dad. All right. So all I'm doing is just filling up the space. It looks kind of weird, doesn't he? Because I'm going to shade the heck out of it. But I just need certain landmarks. One thing that I've been able to do in my my ability to use graphite and charcoal and that type of stuff is that I don't really need to know the detail of leather. I don't really need to know the detail of stitches. I just want for you to feel the weight of the clothes, of the fur, of the buckles. All that stuff is going to have to come later as I study. Shade by Sana says, where are you from? I am from Earth. Welcome. Where are you from? My character here, Enix, has narrow eyes. One, because he's an archer, so he can see very well. Again, we established that he is a tactician. He's a people watcher. Earthling as well. That's what's up. Yeah, I want to do some landmarks because JOM, you're right. The details come later, and I'm going to do a lot of smudging, and that is going to help me out. So I have certain, I don't know if I would call them bad habits, but I have certain habits when I'm drawing the face or figure. I usually do this weird flower, this weird little, little flower on the brow. It's just where the scowl muscles would be. Even if I don't draw them, again, everything is about landmarks and being comfortable and getting comfortable. Alright, that's the side of the face. One other thing when drawing the face is the younger they are, the less lines they have in their face. That usually goes along with women as well. You don't want to put too many lines on a female's face. Peace from Earth. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. But yeah, that's just drawing stuff. Enix here is a bit more of a swashbuckler than his sister is. He's more has more of humor in certain situations than she does. But they're always on the of one mind. Sometimes they don't even have to answer each other's questions. They usually ask the question. They don't always wait, or they don't even provide the answer. It's a trait that close siblings usually have. Uh-oh. I guess witness protection snatched up Shade by Sana. Also, one thing that I wanted to keep in mind when creating my characters is not making them of any race of that nature or anything just familiar. I think the places that I'm building in my mind is just universal. That mouth is off. The mouth is always one of the hardest things that I can come up, unless it's straight on. The side profile and the mouth. I have a habit of making it too far in, too wide. I don't respect my measurements. And if you ever get too mixed up, get a mirror, guys and gals. Get a mirror, get a figurine. Even if you're not there to copy the features, just to keep your measurements in line. And really, ouch. Let's say for this figure here, I always got my people here. Where's the other one? All I'm looking at, like if I need help, all I'm really looking at is the distance between these pieces here. Let me see if I can match that angle. Right? See how that that cheek needs to be a bit higher? See a little bit more underneath the chin there? I'm trying to use my monitor now. Let me see if I can put him right there. A little bit higher. Cheating. All right, hold on. Let me see. This is an interesting experiment right here. I'm looking at my monitor and trying to get my measurement. I keep moving. If only I would stop breathing. That's too much. That failed. But that's all right. This, it is, I think, a Stadler pencil holder. I had another one, an older one, a red one. And the spring exploded one day while I was drawing. I thought, oh man, my artwork is on fire. And it wasn't. Yeah, these are very small lead 2.0s. I believe it's 2.0. Yes, the lead is 2.0. Good eye. Now these weird lines aren't, what's the word I'm looking for here? They're Riley-esque, but they're a bastardized version of Riley. All I'm looking for is kind of like the rhythm of how certain muscles of the face are going to move or are sculpted. What's up, Chris? Hold on a second. Oh, dang. I am hella uncomfortable today. Stop that. For whatever reason, I ended up having this sense of urgency that's really messing up my thinking. So I am going to slow down a bit. The Riley method to me feels a lot more like how you would build a figure 3D model of a face because of the way the rhythms or the curvature of the face. And if you was to look at kind of like the wireframing of 3D figures, they all have that appearance. Those guys, man, I'm telling you. If they only knew that what they were building, what they were creating, was going to go beyond pen, pencil, ink, and paper. All right. My characters have a distinctive feature. He has two braids that tie in the back of his head. This braid holds a small gem called the grace gem, or benison. And it is really what allows him peace of mind and clarity. She has the same type on her forehead, but she carries a bit more anger and aggression than he does. But that gem allows him, like I said, to think clearer, think better, and assess situations a bit better. He's a people watcher, and it allows him not to be deceived so easily. Not to mean that people can't lie to him, they will, and not to mean that he won't believe a liar every once in a while. But he's one of those dudes that's always watching and always preparing. Now what I did was, as you saw, I drew a dividing line symmetrical. What throws people off the most really is because of the nose. But imagine if the nose wasn't there, that symmetrical line will go underneath, will be inside actually. If that helps. If it doesn't, you guys can forget I said anything. And hair, man. I am doing the proverbial, right? The measuring line from where the pupil would be. Historically, that would be where the edge of the mouth is. Butterfingers. Because we're at an angle, it's not too extreme, but this side of the mouth, the one that's away from us, is going to be smaller or sharper. And again, I'm just kind of finding what suits, what I feel suits the character. Again, he's younger. I think I'm going to try to just add the age to the eyes, not necessarily to the face. I do my proverbial, or the quintessential under the lip shadow. There's certain landmarks that never change. They just change in location. They just change in gravity, right? They change in purchase. They change in how deep that wrinkle is or how deep that frown line is. But all of these things, the crook inside the eye, the little crook next to the lip. I forget what this is called, that piece right underneath the nose. You guys know what I'm talking about. I am a proponent of the hero chin. I'm not going to give him the hero chin. I give the hero chin to everybody. You see that? There's a hurricane brewing. Not where I'm at. Where is it? I forgot where it was, but God protect us. You guys are wondering, this is the soundtrack I be bumping to when I'm always when I get to writing or working on these characters. All right. I think I'm done with the HB. I think that's HB. Oh, wow. That's not funny. First of all, can we uh, stay safe, Holly Dubs? But yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't know where that tornado warning was from. I get a heat advisory, but it's from somewhere. I'm sure it'll come back. All right, so here we are. 2B pencil. I think I have my landmarks where I want them. I usually start near the eyes and build out, obviously. The eyes are the windows to the soul and all that. I have to be careful. This will smudge a lot because of the artboard. So, but that's okay. Oh man. Is it going to force me to go that dark so quickly? All right. Okay. I was about to give Arteza 2 points off. This inexpensive, no brand name woodless pencil that I bought from Ross. I'm feeling that I did better yesterday, but I guess not. Now what I'm doing is I'm just going to really cement my lines. And guys, this is nothing different from what I used, my technique on paper. Maybe a bit slower and cleaner because it will smudge like crazy. Once I start that process of the smudge, you'll see. And it's simply because the artboard is chewing into the pencil. And just to show you, this is one of the techniques I learned and fell in love with when learning how to use charcoal. How quickly you can get form just by suggestion and a bit of blending. I'm gonna use some rim lighting, some edge lighting on this side a bit, very similar to his sister's portrait. I don't know how any of this is gonna come out until after. That's kind of like the best part about this is because these are my characters. They are growing and building as I draw them. I have an idea of what I want them to look like, but because I don't have, all I have is how can I put it, like a general reference and idea. I'm not like falling back into actors, or I'm trying to Mona Lisa these characters and see what how my mind can put them together. But it's not to say that I'm not seeing certain people in there, but we'll see. We'll see. It's all about that. I'm using this figure for certain places to put shadow. Even though a lot of it doesn't match, I'm trying to imagine it here, and I'm trying to keep, you know what I'm saying? Keep the lines where I need them. And once I start smudging, it starts showing up a bit better. I hope. Oh no! Oh man! If you guys are wondering what I'm knowing about, Tim is giving me watercolor about my crawl. We have there's several people that we followed. Anyway, a little community of artists here, and one of them is dealing with some tornado issues, and unfortunately they've just been a tree fell in a garage. Although they're safe, that still sucks, man. I pray for their safety, and that is the worst of it. There's one thing down here where I am. We deal with hurricanes. Even if they don't touch down, they do so much damage. Not touch down, but whenever they come near, we get affected so much. The people around us get affected so much. I'm looking for that mid. It looks so soft. All right. Let's see if we can pull some light out. Sorry about that. Where is my kneaded eraser? Where's my super suit? Definitely younger than I was hoping to realize them. Put some bags under his eyes, that helps. And nose is too dark. Oh, you doing some watercolor, Ike? That's cool, man. Are you doing monochromatic, or you doing some color on that watercolor? That's funny. You found an old sketchbook and there's no pressure, so you're mixing colors that have no business going together and having fun. That freedom is if you can bottle that freedom up and sell it. Just trying to find his nose here. It's too dark. No monochromatic? That's cool. Go for it. Go for it. Brown, red, black, green, and some shade of purple. Well, brother, if anybody gonna make those things match and fit, it'll be you. Here we go. For your eyes only. That's cool. That's cool. As they should be, right? There's been so much the so-called sketchbook tour that I've fallen the trap into, and every piece is a work of art. I just bought two inexpensive sketchbooks that are going to be mainly for Sticks and stones. I hope. I'm just trying to fill the page so that I can find him in the darkness, in the edges here. Something's beeping. Am I gonna nature watch capturing stones in their native habitat? That's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. And that's cool, Renee. Congrats. His braid here. What is that? Stones. No, man. I have no idea. I think I'm just gonna do a lot of just looking at these books that I have and do a little bit of copying. This Alfonso Dunn has a great. He has a great book, and he has a great channel on YouTube, especially about texture and stuff like that. And I might just be digging into some of that stuff. And I think David Finch has a few videos and some lessons, but that type of stuff. I do have trees around me, so I could always get some get my Bob Ross on. That's one thing I hate, that glare from graphite. Might have to move the nose. You know what? We're gonna keep it as is. We'll figure it out. Oh yeah. On the other chat, we're talking about the pressures. There's nothing worse than the pressure we put upon ourselves for stuff that we want to do. So, Ike, I'm so happy, man, that you can find that spot of, this is for me, pressure, get away. It's kind of where I am with this here. Like, if this fails and it doesn't look the way I had envisioned it, I'll just walk away and do another one. I mean, of course, I would love for it to be a success straight off the bat, but I'm enjoying the process of building the characters up. I think I'm gonna eat this. And here. Low battery. I'm charging you, bud. This phone, I'm using an old iPhone. It's so bad that even while you're charging it, it dies on you. All right, let me try something else. It's trying to quit on me. Self peer pressure? No, not necessarily peer pressure, just self pressure. This pressure of I don't even know. I don't know the why we do it, why I do it, why I put certain stresses on myself over a drawing or a piece or anything. It's so weird. Are these Faber-Castell kneaded erasers? I don't think so. These might be these. I don't think so. Dude, I'm frugal, man. No names. If it had a name, it would be Faber-Castells. There's certain things I would put money down. Kneaded eraser isn't one of them. This artboard isn't one of them. I think this is one of those, I think what I got, $1.25 for this or something like that. But no, man, nice try though. I got no time for no heavy duty stuff. I am looking at some Castle. What are they called? What's that brand? Castle something. I have some watercolor pencil somewhere of the brand of gouache that I'm thinking of purchasing. I got nothing. I can't remember. I can't remember the name. Can't remember anything. And where am I? This is giving me, and I'm reaching for this. Some Drew Struzan going on here with the way the glow of his face right there. If I can just get a little bit of Drew right there. That's all I want. Right there. I'll take it. If I could get a fraction of that artist's talent. And to be consistent. And he used a reference. For you reference haters, not that there's none of you guys in my squad in the community are reference haters. I'm just being facetious and a butthead about it. He was a tracer. I'm just kidding. Probably was. I don't care. His artwork was amazing. Well, Ike, man, all I know... Nope, not Karen Dash. Museum Aquarelle or Faber... No, damn, brother. I'd rather get Crayola. Those brands you naming got bananas. But what was I gonna say? For Ike, all I know is that if you're not gonna share what you do in the sketchbook, which is perfectly fine, I cannot wait to see what comes out of those. In the sense that all those studies and all those experiments that you're gonna do in there are gonna nail. I can't wait to see what they produce in your other works. That is what I look forward to. One thing that I always thought, how can I put this? Certain things that I didn't realize help other forms of medium. Pencils, if you do in some way, can really benefit. And ink, learning how to ink really benefits how to paint in certain things. But painting really does help when it comes to drawing and suggestion. Yes, Castle. That one, buddy. Those color pencils, which I've used once or twice and put them right back. These suggestions here, yeah, Ike's work is, I can't wait to see what he does. Painting helps when it comes to suggestions. The odd silhouette of a color that can suggest a chair or a tree or whatever. And I've been able to crib and lean into that suggestion box, so to speak, when it comes to drawing. I spend so much time worrying about every fold, every stitch, or something like that, all the details. And I still want to. But when it's something like this where I'm going to paint it, being able to do the suggestion before even painting really does help. And like that might help you too, man. A lot of suggestion may be the way to go. It'll soften, not that you don't need me to tell you how to do watercolor, but it'll soften kind of like the expectations of watercolor. I haven't done watercolor in a couple of years now. I like Ike because he'll say something like, "Oh man, I'm having a hard time drawing a straight line," and then his next video is this amazing freehand study of perspective of people walking and hanging out, and it'll be a whole scene. And I'm like, this this guy, he's so good. All right, let's find his neck here. Yeah, like one of the things that it's all coming back. It's funny. It's all coming back to me. When I was doing digital and trying to learn away from the stuff I learned in school, which was basically graphic design, not so much digital painting, even though I picked that up after. And I can tell you that my digital painting style is so antiquated and not conducive to a good mental well-being, but the process is pretty much how I paint stuff. Now I was too literal sometimes, So when I was trying to learn, I would see so many digital artists drawing shapes and erasing, like chiseling, and I couldn't. Just never. It never made sense to me until more recently, when I became a little bit more serious about painting, traditionally. Like something finally clicked. I was like, that's what they were doing this whole time? Dropping the shape with suggestion and then chiseling away. I'm like, ugh. And I'm sure they explained it perfectly. I blame myself entirely. I was waiting for the digital ink to dry. That's funny. Maybe. Being mean to me, man. I'm very young. I'm gonna have to darken some stuff here because I'm losing them. The one thing that's really cool about these artboards is that using a kneaded eraser, just lifting a bit of the graphite, can give you so many different I'm sorry for the glare. Variations. It may not appear that way this close up. But there's a level of weird variety and realism that you can kind of like sneak. Because it doesn't let you get a smooth erasure. You can just like slightly grab what's on the surface, and then you just gotta live with it. All right. Sorry for the dentist appointment here. This really isn't helping that much. My electric eraser is dirty as well. But it's doing something. Trying to make him look young. Sounds more like barber. Dentist is more high pitched like NASCAR. Barber, yeah, right behind the ear. Well, you want the razor or the machine? JOM, dude, you got an ear for television, bro. Don't squander that talent. Alright, hopefully that helps. Some of the detail gets lost in the eyes. His hair's supposed to be dark. I can live with that. I lost a braid. Put it back. So yeah, back to stones. Stones, bark. It should be fun, man. It should be. It should always be fun. But I am excited. I can't wait. I'm looking at all of these old books, these old Conan books, and just amazed at the amount of artwork they put out, the details, the worlds they built. They were having a freaking blast. I hope. I'm gonna have to go for a darker. Where we at? $4B. You really can't control this thing. Just have to like hold it still. The hardest part, I need to lift some of this stuff here, I feel. I mean, I like the way it looks. I kind of like the fact that I didn't put a weapon on him. He is an archer, but and this is the harness for it. But hopefully I don't ruin this right here. Give it the old turntable record scratch. That's simply from all the graphite sitting on top. All right. Any DayZ fans in here? I know that's a weird. My wife and I are playing DayZ, and for the first time in a long time, we was playing that game till well past 1 in the morning the last couple of days, this weekend. It was fun, but we had the worst. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm not going to say experience because things happen in that game, but we were getting beat up. Zombies were letting us have it. Wow. Let's find his ear. Yes, a survival horror game. It was it's an old game. Extremely old. It was originally called Arma, and Arma is a strategic military survival game or shooter. And then somehow they created a zombie horror survival mod that became just as popular, if not more popular than the original game. And there's nothing to do in it. There is no objective only but to survive. And when I tell you about the stuff you have to do to survive, drink water, eat food, obviously, but you can't just eat. There's cans of food you can get, but if you need to eat something, you gotta hunt, or if you're lucky enough, you can go fishing. You can kill a chicken, kill the chicken, quarter it, take his meat, then you got to start a fire. Anyway, so on and so forth. And my cousin Alex introduced us to it, and we hated it, but now we love it. So we've traveled the map several times. It's pretty huge, the map. And so then we decided, I think it was time for us to learn how to build a shelter. So that's what we've been doing for the weekend. Building a shelter in the woods. So that we can have supplies to maintain, stuff like that. And it's just so funny the way things are. It's just really fun. Anyway, we've been hunted by wolves. We've been hunted by bears. And it's open world, and over 60 people can play or be in this world at any given time. And they may not be friendly. And in fact, it's probably more likely that they're not friendly. That there are also hoarders or looking for things to survive. So they're quicker to kill you than to help you. But we have actually had some really good interactions with strangers where we didn't kill each other and actually helped each other. So there's hope for us, guys. There's hope for us. Maybe. But man, the other day we 4 hours. We didn't know where the time went. But there is no fast travel. You do have to walk. You could find a vehicle, but to get a vehicle, you gotta fix it. You gotta repair it. You gotta add fuel. You gotta watch for other people looking for cars. It's kind of nuts. Anyway, we had fun. And I only ask is because if you're on the PlayStation, you could jump on the server and hang out with Casa de Mel, help us build our shelter. He used to play Left 4 Dead on the Xbox. Left 4 Dead was great. Left 4 Dead was great because it felt like you was in a horror movie. Anyway, it was built that way, where the director forces you to move. Can't be sitting there afraid. No, you don't have to pay for gas, but you're out in the open. And danger lurks everywhere, my friend. But there are servers where there are huge communities with law enforcement, with towns with sheriffs where you can barter. We don't bother with those. I don't know. This is nose, right? Unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to fully correct the nose just because of the way this thing works. Maybe. But I don't think so. Try to move it down a bit. Can you imagine having to pay for gas in that? I wouldn't even bother. Become a nomad. Alright, and let me erase a bit. So let me see if I can give this guy some rhinoplasty real quick. In that game, no, yeah, tell me about it. No in-game purchases. You spawn in with a piece of fruit, probably an apple, no water, a uh, medical rags because you're gonna need it, and that's it. You got some beat up capris, and that's it. With no direction. But sad to admit, it is fun. We have fun. That might be all I can do for that face right now. You can't plant the apple, but you can find seeds that you can plant and raise and eat. But to do that, you got to find a shovel or a pitchfork or a land hoe. Find some land. You got to get some water to to feed the plants. And then hope you're around to harvest it, or it would rot right on the vine, or some traveling survivor will come by and eat it. And there's zombies, which is great. Holes are hard, are easy to find. Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah, the probability of you finding the stuff you need when you need it is about 30%. And I just made up that number. But it sounded right. And see what we can add. That's the one thing that I'm learning to have to accept using or drawing on canvas or artboard is the level of contrast. I'll never be able to get this pure black to boom it up, so you have to find your level of acceptance. It doesn't matter if I go on using a darker pencil. One, because the lead becomes softer, which means you'll end up chewing through it even more. Come on, cat. The only thing that you can do is volume. But even then, But with something like this, once I spray it with fixative, you get a pretty good darkness. Real life less than 5, yeah, it's probably closer to that. I think 30% is super generous. And even still, it's not as dark as you would want it. It's still too soft, the contrast, but it's a little tacky, but it's almost ready to put some acrylic on that. That's not a bad shot of these two. My hero portraits. I'm going to be doing several of these for most of my characters, if not all of the main characters. They're not that many, maybe 10 or 12. I think. The ones I'm really excited to put on paper are the twins. These giant, just like linebacker-sized characters called Ninro and Orin. Twins, warriors. They're just huge teddy bears, but they always love a good fight. One carries a giant mace. The other carries a giant dual hammer. I'm able to draw their dad, Mjorn, their uncle Kelbray, the villainous Turtel. So I think that's what I'm going to do on these Mondays. Just keep fleshing out these hero pieces while we build on the characters. Man, that'll be fantastic. Thank you, Tama, for swinging through. I appreciate you. If you get an opportunity to tell Holly that we are praying for her and hope everybody is safe over there, and that she'll be in our prayers. And thank you for swinging through. I can't wait to see what you was painting. I hope it was for a future video. And I'll see you on the next one. I feel like, let me see, I'm gonna just add some dark here. Make it look like he's wearing something else, cause This is supposed to be a leather strap where his bow, his quiver, right? He also carries small daggers. Like I said, he is more the distance man. If his sister is the tank, he is the sniper. I wish he looks young. But in my story, he's close to 19, 20 years old. So I think that's not too bad. I think that should work. I think it'll work. I'm stressing over nothing because it is what it is. We gotta take that no stress energy from my boy Ike here. Don't even worry about it. But I'm glad I can show you guys this. This is really more the closest representation of my art style when it comes to pencil and graphite. And it's something that I really want to transfer to color. But I love black and white. I love monochrome, so I'm constantly fighting those urges to keep it this way. You know, and it's not going to help because the story that I'm going to do when I start working on the pages, it's going to be black and white. I think that if I was to try to even start painting those, I'll never finish. But I will be painting and embellishing on some of the action pieces and story beats. I already have some things in mind that I cannot wait. So I might go kind of like the route of the manga, where they'll have a page or two, maybe 3, in the beginning of certain chapters in color or in wash. But I don't know. I think I keep getting ahead of myself. What I really need to do, besides learn how to draw rocks and trees a bit better, is I'm going to start breaking down my scenes. So I can figure out how many different locales I got to draw. Which aren't many. 2 main villages, 2 separate homesteads, cave, some stuff, you know, that type of stuff. And scenes that I will duplicate, or we'll go back to. So, but a part of me really needs to start treating this a bit more mechanically. And professionally, in the sense that that's the way I'll get it done. $2. I think that's Gucci, guys. There he is. Enix. That's not too bad. I think I might be able to age him up and get more detailed in here. But I think that's pretty much it. My hero portrait, or portrait of a hero. I'll probably keep noodling around on this, just so I can bring in some of the highlights for the eyes and the tip of the nose. Certain places where I can kind of add. Seeing how the graphite is still soft and I can really build on it. I don't think I'll be adding any more. I really want to try to get these a little bit brighter, these highlights, just so that it can stand out a bit more when I spray it with fixative. And I'll be able to follow it when I eventually start painting this, but yeah. Before I go, put you aside. I'm going to put the my underpainting on this. I'm going to let the music play me out. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me on this Monday. A little bit of re-entry Monday. Talking about current things, the future. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. I will be back on Wednesday for a 2-piece. Do a workshop. I'm going to be painting this. It should be done, and maybe I'll have the one I did today in ready to go as well. And we'll just keep going from there. But again, thank you guys for hanging out with me. I will see you guys on Wednesday. This is Arts of the Round Table. That's Ifo. That's Enix. My characters from my story, Ghost of Arlan. That is my cat, Broadway, singing us off. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to add some acrylic to this. So, at the round table, my name is Mello. God bless you. I love you. Mean it. And until next time, I will draw you later. Bye.